Japanese fighter pilots were the kings of maneuver combat. The Zero was their crown, light, elegant, dancing in the sky like it defied gravity itself. And for years, the Zero ruled the Pacific night. Japanese aviators believed something unshakable. No American heavy aircraft could ever outrun a Zero. Not in daylight, not at night, not ever. But in 1945, on a moonless night thick with Pacific humidity, a strange silhouette rose into the sky. Long twin booms, glowing exhausts, a radar antenna pulsing like a heartbeat. Not a bomber, not a fighter, not anything the Japanese knew. It was the P-38 Night Lightning. A brutal, midnight black hunter flown by one of America's deadliest aces, Charles McDonald. And the night it entered combat, Zero pilots discovered a terrifying truth. The aircraft they mocked, the aircraft they underestimated, could turn, dive, climb, and strike in ways they never imagined. This is the forgotten story of the night the Zero lost its sky. This is Shadow of War, where forgotten legends rise again. Night in the Pacific was different from night anywhere else. No city lights, no moon half the time. Just darkness stretching across the ocean, so deep it felt like flying inside cold. American bomber crews feared it. Japanese pilots embraced it. They believed night belonged to them, their terrain, their advantage, their hunting ground. For years, they were right. But everything changed with the arrival of radar. Not ground radar, not ship radar, but radar placed inside an aircraft designed to kill in the dark. The P-38 Lightning was already a legend. Fast, long-ranged, deadly. But late in the war, engineers created a new variant, the P-38 Night Lightning, painted black, silent, almost invisible against the stars, with radar in the nose and a dedicated radar operator behind the pilot. A night fighter born from desperation and precision, science, and one of the first pilots trained to use it was Charles McDonald, an American ace with over 25 kills and a reputation for aggression that matched any Japanese veteran. McDonald studied the Pacific night. He learned how the Zero behaved in darkness, where its pilots climbed, how they turned when they made mistakes. He didn't want to just fight them. He wanted to hunt them. The first Night Lightning mission began in silence. The airfield sat on a remote Pacific island, lit only by dim red lamps to protect pilots' night vision. Ground crews whispered as they checked fuel lines and ammunition. The radar operator climbed in behind McDonald. The canopy closed with a hard click. The engines roared to life, to giant Allisons shattering the quiet as flames burst from the exhaust in glowing blue cones. McDonald eased the throttles forward, and the P-38M rolled into the dark. Once airborne, the world vanished. No horizon, no stars, just black. Inside that blackness, the Night Lightning's radar pulsed, searching for heat, motion, wings, life. 200 miles away, a squadron of Japanese Zeros lifted off from a hidden strip. They were seasoned veterans, pilots who survived battles from Rabaul to the Solomons. They believed they controlled the dark. One of them radioed quietly, "Tonight, we hunt." They had no idea that tonight, they were the hunted. Inside the cockpit, McDonald heard a calm voice from the radar operator. "Contact. 8 miles. Angels 6. Closing fast." McDonald banked the Night Lightning left, feeling the heavy twin-engine fighter respond with surprising grace. Contrary to myth, the P-38 could turn tight in the right hands, and McDonald's hands were right. The radar operator's voice sharpened. "For bogeys. Heading east." "They don't see us," McDonald whispered. "They will." He pushed the throttles, and the Night Lightning surged forward, cutting through the sky like a blade. The darkness parted just enough for McDonald to see for faint silhouettes. Zeros. Unaware, relaxed, flying. In a loose formation, he lined up the shot. The P-38's nose guns, for .50 caliber, Brownings and a 20mm cannon, were mounted perfectly in line. Every bullet traveled exactly where he pointed. He squeezed the trigger. Night exploded. Tracers lit the sky red and gold. One Zero ignited instantly. Its wing tore open like tissue paper. The pilot never saw who shot him. The remaining Zeros panicked. breaking formation hard. McDonald grinned. They were doing exactly what he studied. He rolled the night lightning tightly to the right, following a zero that dove sharply. Japanese pilots always assumed a twin-engined American plane couldn't follow their dives. Too heavy, too slow to react. But the P-38M wasn't heavy. It wasn't clumsy. It dropped like a hawk. McDonald matched the zero's movement perfectly, angle for angle, speed for speed. Both aircraft plunged into total darkness, no horizon, no light, nothing but instinct. The Zero pilot pulled a hard turn, expecting the big American fighter to overshoot. Instead, McDonald pulled tighter. The Japanese pilot felt someone behind him, someone who shouldn't have been behind him. Impossible. No bomber could turn like this. Too late. McDonald fired, and the Zero burst into flame. To down. To go. The remaining Japanese pilots were terrified. They'd never seen a heavy aircraft maneuver this way. They had no radar, no night gun sight. They were blind. One Zero tried climbing sharply into the darkness. McDonald followed with raw horsepower. The twin Allisons roared, lifting the night lightning higher and higher. At the top of the climb, McDonald fired a short burst. The Zero stalled, flipped, and spiraled down. 3 kills. The last Zero dove to sea level, skimming the waves, hoping the darkness would hide him, but darkness belonged to the P-38M. The radar tracked him cleanly. McDonald banked left, descended low, and closed the distance. The Zero tried one final desperate trick, a hard vertical loop. McDonald followed. The night lightning stayed glued to him, closing in until the Japanese pilot saw the silhouette of death behind him. McDonald fired. The final Zero erupted in a shower of sparks, its burning frame reflecting off the waves. The Pacific night went silent again. Hours later, McDonald landed his P-38M on the dimly lit airstrip. Ground crew rushed to him, asking how many planes he'd found. He stepped out of the cockpit, helmet under his arm, and smiled darkly. "They came for us," he said. "We came for them." Word spread. Japanese pilots began whispering of a black twin-boom demon capable of striking unseen, a bomber that could outrun a fighter, a monster that hunted in pitch darkness with glowing cat eyes of radar. The night lightning shattered their confidence. Night was no longer theirs. Radar changed everything. Power changed everything. Skill changed everything. And the Japanese pilots who mocked American aircraft learned a painful truth. Sometimes the machine you underestimate is the one that destroys you. The P-38M Night Lightning became one of the deadliest night fighters of the Pacific War, a predator evolved for darkness, guided by science, flown by men like Charles McDonald, who refused to let the night belong to the enemy. This is Shadow of War, where forgotten legends rise again.